sat alone. Alone in that house that made one pool of light in the tropic darkness, listening to the soft, venomed whisper of the jungle as it coiled itself around the house. I sat there thinking, who am I? What am I doing here? Where am I going? Where have I been? Where have I been? And the voices of the past began to sift through.
Name, please.
Martin Arrowsmith.
What branch of the university are you entering?
The medical.
Name, please.
Martin Arrowsmith.
What branch of the university are you entering?
The medical.
Name, please.
Martin Arrowsmith.
What branch of the university are you entering?
The medical. The medical, yes. Martin Arrowsmith, freshman, eager, newly hatched.
Arrowsmith?
Yes, Professor Gottlieb?
Observe what I do. Technique is the beginning of science. Technique is the beginning of science. Technique is the beginning of science.
Technique is the beginning of science. Professor Max Gottlieb. A voice softly blurred with the culture of another country. A man who could inspire and could crucify. At 21, I entered his classroom.
Do you want to practice medicine, Arrowsmith?
Oh, no, sir. I'd like to work in research. I'd like to be a bacteriologist.
Good. After these past few weeks, I do not think you would make a good doctor. But research, that is another matter. And it is the important field, make no mistake about it. Research is the advancing line that moves ahead of the doctors, that makes their work possible.
The days of those years were a whirlwind. Lectures on physical diagnosis, surgery, neurology, obstetrics, hospital demonstrations, pathology, scientific German, scientific French, exploration of the past and of the possibilities of the future. Professor Gottlieb, something's wrong with these immunology theories.
What do you mean something is wrong? Young man, do you set yourself up against science? Do you feel competent to attack the dogmas of immunology?
I'm sorry, sir. Here are my protocols. I've gone over and over the stuff, and I get the same results. I only know what I observe.
My boy, that is the way. Observe what you observe. And if it does not agree with the nice, correct views of science, then out they go. I'm very pleased, Martin. But now find out the why, the underneath principle.
All right, I will.
Martin, I've been thinking, would you care to be my laboratory assistant next term?
Oh, Professor Gottlieb,
Then we shall consider it all settled.
Those were the days when I plunged headlong into every experiment and every experience that came along. Those were the days when I was engaged to Madeline Fox and her mother. Those were the days when I met Leora. Professor Gottlieb had sent me on an errand to the hospital, and there was this small probationer nurse scrubbing the floor as I turned the wrong corner and skidded.
Hey, watch out! You almost stepped in my scrub bucket.
You almost made me break my neck. Why don't you watch where you put your scrub bucket?
The scrub bucket has to be where I'm scrubbing. You can walk any place you want. I have to scrub where I'm told to scrub. I'm being punished by the superintendent of nurses. She's showing me the importance of discipline.
Oh, I see. Pretty hard, this training for nurses, I guess.
Well, it's about as romantic as being a hired girl in Dakota.
You come from Dakota?
I sure do. Sweet Sylvania, North Dakota. You're from the University Medic School, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm not really much of a medic. I'm going to be a bacteriologist.
Gee, that's wonderful.
Say, would you like to have dinner with me tonight?
I'd love to.
7?
I'll be ready.
See you then. Hey, what's your name?
Leora Tozer, what's yours?
Martin Arrowsmith.
Hello, Martin Arrowsmith.
Hello, Leora.
Good morning, Arrowsmith. Oh, gosh, you're all dressed. Been to bed at all?
No.
Oh, fine, companionable roommate you turn out to be. I don't know why you bother coming home from the lab at all. You know, someday you're going to be sorry you ever got tangled up with a microbe.
What do you do when you're engaged to two of them at once?
Oh, Martin. Hey, kid, look, you better lie down.
Well, I guess the only thing to do is get them both together. Let them work it out.
Who?
Madeline and Leora.
Oh, now he's giving them names. Look, Martin, lie down and let me get a doctor.
Doctor? Who wants a doctor? Miss Fox, this is Miss Tozer.
How do you do?
I invited you both to lunch because I thought that you two should get acquainted.
Dr. Arrowsmith tells me you're a nurse, Miss Tozer.
Yes, sort of.
Do you find it interesting?
Oh, yes, I think it's interesting.
Do you come from here, Miss Tozer?
No, I come from, just a little town. Well, hardly a town. It's in North Dakota.
Oh, way out west. I don't believe we know anyone else from North Dakota, do we, Martin?
No, I suppose... I don't think so.
Where are you from, Miss Wolf?
Fox.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Fox. I have such a bad memory for names. Where are you from?
I'm from here.
Right here. Oh, we know lots of people from here, don't we, Martin?
Oh, yes, lots of people. Yes. What would you girls like to eat?
Oh, you order for me, Martin. You know just what I like.
You order for me, too, Martin. You know what I like, too.
Look, Madeline, Leora, I don't know how you two feel about each other, but, well, I brought you two together because, well, by some strange coincidence, I'm engaged to both of you. And I didn't know what to do except come out and...
Engaged? Both of us?
I'm sorry for you, Miss Totem. Tozer. You poor child. You do have a job ahead of you. Goodbye, Martin.
Well, darling. Looks as though you're mine by default.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I couldn't think of any other way.
Martin, you better not get in any more messes like this, because I'll never give you up. I'm going to cook for you and sew for you and wait for you to come home at night. And someday the world's going to discover that you're the greatest scientist in it. I'm very much in love with you, Mr. Arrowsmith.
Hello, Mrs. Arrowsmith. I walked back to the lab in a complete daze, planning a wedding, planning a lifetime. I was late.
Smith, what have you brought me here?
What do you ask for 6 female rabbits?
I asked for 6 male rabbits.
I'll go back right away. I'm sorry.
You're sorry. And what do I do with this class while I wait for you to go and return?
I'm sorry, but I didn't understand you. I made a mistake.
Mistakes in science mean lives. You're an imbecile. You've been mooning around for weeks, acting like a schoolboy fit for nothing. What good is an assistant who can't even bring me what I require? Get out.
You mean I'm fired as assistant?
I'm glad you have enough intelligence to understand that.
Well, that's all right with me. And so I left Gottlieb. And Leora and I were married. And And those whom God hath joined, let no man put asunder, for now and forever, so long as we both should live. I took her hand in mine and turned off the road I had been traveling. I decided to practice medicine. After all, doctors were more necessary than scientists. Why should I spend my life cooped up in a lab? I'd go out to Leora's part of the country and practice. I'd save lives. I'd be Martin Arrowsmith, M.D., Wheat Sylvania, North Dakota. And so I graduated and began the days of my practice.
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Arrowsmith. This is Mr. Willoughby. My little girl has a stomach ache.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Arrowsmith. This is Walter Lamb. I've hurt my hand. I'd like to come in and have you look at it.
Dr. Arrowsmith, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel bad all over.
Mr. Arrowsmith, just what kind of a doctor do you think you are? Personally, I don't think much of you.
You don't? Why not?
Well, you haven't said a word about me drinking lots of milk and orange juice, being careful about lifting things.
Milk. Orange juice. Lifting things. Leora!
In 6 months, darling. 6 months.
6 months. Why, this is Arrowsmith. Wow. Wow.
One small boy made in the image and likeness of Martin Arrowsmith.
Six months of waiting, of watching, of worrying, of praying. 6 months of illness for Leora. 6 months of growing, swelling pain, terror, torture, agony.
Martin. Martin. Martin.
Oh, Leora, I want to be everything to you. Let me be everything to you.
There won't ever be another baby, Louis. No, never another.
Darling, darling.
Well, if I can't have a real baby, I'll just have to bring you up. I'll help you be a great man like your Professor Gottlieb.
Did you say Gottlieb, Leora?
Yes, I said Gottlieb. I know you've never forgotten him, Martin.
For hours we sat together, unspeaking, eternally understanding, in the prairie twilight.